Hello everyone, Alexander Barnum here. I'm going to be playing Garry's mod. I'm going to be working with a couple of mods here. One is from Stargate. That is the Stargate itself. The coloring for the DHD for Stargate, the Stargate mod, did not render correctly. And here I also have the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Some mods are not functioning fully well, but they do function nevertheless, good enough in my opinion for at least this to work. I've already had a considerable amount of fun with these mods in the past, and the TARDIS mod had a huge update just recently, and there's a lot of interestingly cool features that I was able to explore already. Very, very fun. I will also be interacting here with a second player. I believe he is right here. These are both connected with my Steam accounts. I've purchased Garry's mod for both of the accounts, and that's my other account right there. Uh, and then mine, of course, is where do you find that? Let's see. Somewhere. It's all here somewhere. Um, oh yeah, my username in the appeared at the bottom right, right there in the bottom right hand corner. It appeared. So when I pulled up the I guess administration menu, or no, it's a I'm not sure exactly what that was called again, but yeah, it pulls up all the interestingly cool stuff. So, all right, let's get into it here. I'm going to be controlling my other player with a Steam controller. So, all right, so I'm just going to kind of use my mouse here on this PC. I'm interacting with two PCs connected to two different Steam accounts and interacting on the same game through an internet game of Garry's mod. I could have done local area network, but I decided to go with online instead through the same internet connection, bouncing back between both computers, which is totally cool, totally fun. I love experimenting with this kind of stuff, and I'm a big techie, so. All right, let's get into the fun. I'm gonna go put him inside the TARDIS here. If I can look at my other PC screen here, I will head inside of the TARDIS here, and all right, I'm gonna close the doors here in just a minute. I can program the coordinates of my destination ahead of time or while in flight. If I don't program any new coordinates, I'm just gonna land in the same location again. So let's just go ahead and do this here. Pardon me as I look at the other screen over here, and I also have a screen right here in front of me on my current PC. So I'm the PC in front of me. You guys can see everything I'm looking at with this player. Unfortunately, I can't record the perspective of the other player, but that's why the other player is going to be flying the TARDIS. And my character, the character that you're looking at right now, is going to be, or the player you're looking at right now is what we're all going to be seeing on screen. So, alrighty, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and start with pre-coordinate programming. This does normally save time when in flight. I can go ahead and just program it while in flight, but doing it ahead of time wouldn't hurt either. I can do both. Let's see here. Let's go. Yeah, let's go here. Let's do that. And then I gotta activate this real quick. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the TARDIS kind of shifted here a little bit because I just activated the locking down mechanism. This is a critical thing I would like to do as my destination is going to be. Uh, I require it for my destination. This is just something I want to do, and in a few moments you'll understand why I activated the locking down mechanism. This will be very cool for players who want to interact with this mod as well. And I'm not really doing an instructional video. This is just extremely fun. So bear with me here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and close the doors. Awesome, that's done. And then all that's left is to dematerialize the TARDIS. Alright, so now I'm going to have the TARDIS land in its new location, and yeah, this will be good. Oh, it seems like there's a malfunction here with the TARDIS mod. The ambient lighting was just visible out here, so this is an interesting thing, which could indicate a potential bug in the mod at the moment. But well, we don't know. I'm hoping the mod will still work effectively here, despite the fact that I'm seeing that. Interesting. You can still see the lighting from when the doors are open, which is very interesting. It's almost like the TARDIS is still here. However, let's walk up. And at the same time, the TARDIS is not here. So I believe that's just a residual bug in the lighting for the TARDIS mod. I don't think anything is seriously wrong with it at this time. Let's just go with this and see what happens here. Let's have a little fun with it. Alright, so the doors have just opened and everything. And normally I shouldn't be able to hear the doors open even though the TARDIS is quite far away. I think from this destination at the moment, which is just quite interesting. I can hear the ambient sounds as well through this player, rather relative to the other player, and that shouldn't be possible at this time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close the doors, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring the TARDIS back, so we can then go to the other destination. Let's just go ahead and do that. We shouldn't be able to hear the ambient sounds or the sounds of the TARDIS taking off and landing at this location, as the TARDIS is in a faraway location, I believe. So I shouldn't be able to hear that through this player, but we'll just go ahead and see kind of what happens here when the TARDIS lands in this location here. So alright, let's go ahead and take care of that. And then we'll go ahead to the other location. I just remembered something really cool that I've done in previous videos that I'd like to show you in this one. Let's go ahead and just do this real quick. Now, I'm going to approach the space where I know the TARDIS is going to effectively land. This takes some timing and precision, especially if two different players are playing it relative to the same time. So, if both players are in two completely different locations, in as far as our world is concerned, It may be very difficult to time and coordinate where the TARDIS is going to land. Uh, in the show, in Doctor Who, the TARDIS actually does have the ability to materialize around someone, and well, you'll just see in a few moments what this mod is going to do relative to that. So I'm going to go ahead and land the TARDIS now, and let's just see what happens. I think you'll be pretty impressed. Alright, so as we just seen, the TARDIS does have the ability to materialize around someone and have that person appear directly inside the TARDIS. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you where the TARDIS had just landed before previously landing here. And, well, let's go ahead and see how cool this is going to be. And now I will now have the opportunity to show you why I needed to engage the locking down mechanism on the TARDIS itself. And there's a very critically cool function that this allows you to do. It allows you to lock the TARDIS in place. And this is one of the examples that I can show you as to what you can do when locking the TARDIS in place at whatever position the TARDIS happens to land. I'll go ahead and show you now. Alrighty then, the TARDIS has landed in its location where we have selected. So now what essentially I'm going to do, interesting. Alrighty then, the TARDIS did not move. I'm not sure what happened here. Give me just a moment on this. I'm going to figure out what happened. I believe there's just a small technical glitch with my computer, or maybe the mod just didn't want to register the location at that time. I'm going to go ahead and try this again in just a moment. Bear with me. Okay, it would appear that the TARDIS is now programmed for its destination. As far as technicalities and such, I just have to shut off the keyboard and mouse for that PC. That can be done pretty locally on the keyboard and mouse. There's switches for that. So what I'm hoping to do is just utilize the Steam controller to do a lot of the control interface for Garry's mod. I think the mouse was still active, and it was offsetting the ability for the other player for me to be able to control the other player with the Steam controller. So what I'm hoping to do, and what I'm hoping to accomplish, is just shut the mouse and keyboard input off, so that the Steam controller has a chance to fully control the system that the other player is utilizing. And something about that just did not allow the correct input to be placed into the system for the game. So the TARDIS didn't register that I wanted to input a new location into its coordinate entry platform or panel on the game. So what we're going to do is the destination just got successfully programmed. The TARDIS informed me of that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head towards that location now. And I just want to double check to see if my keyboard and mouse over here are turned off and not sending any input to the PC. Give me just a moment. Alright, perfect. The keyboard and mouse are now successfully turned off, and now I have full access and control with the Steam controller. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just kind of come back on into the TARDIS here with our player that will be able to observe everything. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and close the doors, and we're going to go ahead and take off. Alright, that's wonderfully done. Let's go ahead and let the TARDIS know we want to take off. Alright, so let me triple check here to see if the coordinates are correctly set. Alright, just a moment. Alright, perfect. The coordinates are now successfully set in the TARDIS coordinate interface. So now I'm going to go ahead and take off. Alright, that is all set. I believe we've landed at our new destination. There are ways to find out, generally speaking. You can find out by using the TARDIS's internal scanners, or external scanners, to see outside of it, which I can do. Let's just move over here for a minute so I can get a little bit more easier access to the TARDIS console. I'm going to go ahead and activate the internal scanner so I can find out where we're at, and then I can show you guys. Okay, perfect. quite where we need to be yet, but that's going to be absolutely fine. I can show you guys, a couple of things while we're at this destination. So we're not at the destination that I had originally intended us to land at, but we're very close. I'll go ahead and show you guys what's going on. All right, so we're gonna go out here for a moment, and I can show you guys exactly what we're gonna be looking at here. So let me just go ahead and do this. All right, so now I'm gonna go out this way. I have the TARDIS, one of the TARDIS's destinations, programmed into the coordinate memory. Uh, at the bottom of this, well, if you will. Now, if you guys are familiar with playing on Garry's mod GM Genesis, which is this is the map that we're on. Let me go ahead and just kind of pull up the like say for example, if I were to start a new game, I would click on GM Genesis here. This is actually what the map looks like right here. So, yeah. We're just gonna go ahead and go out of that menu. So that's what map I'm playing on. It's wonderful. This is one of the only maps I really know of that the TARDIS will perfectly integrate with, and there are so many areas within this map to explore. And there's a lot of areas to hide. There's a lot of areas to check out. Yeah, it's very cool to navigate, and I can show you some of the ways I do that. Um, I can show you guys in a little while here. This is one of my favorite things to do with the TARDIS is experimenting with water. Um, just kind of see how the mod behaves and everything, and just see how the TARDIS behaves according to the rules and that are programmed within the game. Which is the TARDIS mod has been beautifully designed, and they're adding new stuff to it all the time. There's different TARDIS mods to explore, as from what I've seen on YouTube, and I'm just enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. This is my kind of game for the most part. I do also like RPGs, but sandbox games. I've done similar sandbox games. For example, I believe there's a sandbox mode in like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, for example, that I can play on, and that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, you got the career game and everything. Those kind of games are, kind of my style too. Where there, you got a strategy in front of you, and you're trying to figure out all this additional stuff, and you're trying to follow a process. And I like games that'll really, I like those kind of games for their interactive reasons. I like the interactivity and control of things I can do, and it's just a lot like programming. It's just incredible that there's games out there that let you do that type of thing. There's a game out there for everybody, and if you're not a video gamer and you're just watching other people video game, that's fine too. You don't have to get into it, but there's people that love the interactivity like I do, and they like going in there and getting stuff done in the game. A lot of people like games for the achievements. Me, yeah, I like those achievement games here and there, but um, as far as creativity goes, if you're a fan of creativity, Garry's Mod is the way to go. One of the great ways to go. Um, so let's go ahead and literally and figuratively dive in. So what we're gonna do right here, right now in this moment, is I'm gonna just show you from an outside perspective what's going to happen when the TARDIS goes underwater with the physical lock activated. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop in. And mind you, this is all for entertainment purposes right here. And just, you know, if you want the how-to videos and stuff, there's a lot of videos I can recommend for, the how-to on how to get Garry's Mod working and everything. And stuff. You can always search it up, or I can always put some links in the description on where to go and what to do for getting everything worked on, and there's lots of other people that could, I thought about doing instructional videos, but I found I'm more of just rather of a doer than a teacher. But I'm the knowledge that I'm learning in web development, for example. I mean, I could pass off on to other people, but a lot of those services are already existent for um, teaching, and I would prefer that if somebody wanted to get into web development, I could show them where to go and everything. But as far as what to do in a specific thing, self discovery is big among me. So what I and I don't, I mean, I do think of myself as, somewhat of a good teacher, but I don't want to end up accidentally steering someone in the wrong direction. So what I'd like to do is, point out the resources that a person could reach and use, and if they want to discover a resource on their own, that would be, that would be cool too. But generally speaking, if they want to kind of get some pointers and stuff, I could provide that as well. But just doing a full on teaching course and stuff like that, it requires a very fair amount of discipline to be able to do, on my part, to be able to teach this stuff. But me, I prefer to kind of go with the flow on um, my own sense of discovery, and that um, and then as far as sharing resources, like I said, I'm more than comfortable with doing that type of thing. But I generally like to let people learn at their own pace rather than at my pace, because everybody learns differently and that type of thing. And um, um, I've understood my learning style for a long time, and I've just, as I've gone through the years, I've been discovering it more and more, and that type of thing. So, uh, sorry to get into a boring lecture on that one there. Let's dive back into the game here, guys. Let's get some fun stuff going. All right. So what I can do first is, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get the TARDIS down there from an outside perspective, and then we're gonna dive right on into the uh, direct perspective as we're seeing it happen right in front of us here. So let's go ahead and jump right on into that. This is probably the first video where I've actually been able to record what's going on in the game, as well as record my voice and my picture, so my motion picture, if you will. This is a learning curve for me, and I hope you guys find it entertaining. And if you guys want to get some resources to do this very thing yourself, I'd be more than happy to provide those for you guys. So yeah, it's a learning curve just as much for me as it is entertaining for you guys. So bear with me. I am told I can be a little boring at times, but I'm trying to find a way to, kind of add a little bit more fun to it and everything. And this is purely fun for me to do. I'm learning how to do this. I'm looking at exploring it. I'm just putting these videos up just because it's fun to do. I'm not looking to, make money off of anything I'm doing, but at the moment. But it wouldn't hurt to, figure that out in the future. But for now, this is entertainment for me. I'm hoping you guys enjoy it, and I'm hoping you guys can explore a lot of the stuff I'm learning. And I'm hoping my goal is to make sure that if you guys do want to learn what I'm learning, that you guys are able to do it at your own pace and make it fun for you guys, and the feeling of that's pretty rewarding to me, knowing that I'm able to teach you guys something where you guys are able to learn it at your own pace. And if you guys got any questions or need any help or any way, then I'd be more than happy to provide that assistance to you guys. And it wouldn't hurt to reach out. It wouldn't hurt for me to reach out to you guys for sure. If you guys want to reach out to me, that's fine too. I mean, uh, you know, I wouldn't mind taking phone calls or text messages about this type of thing, and just providing assistance and just get talking with the communities that are out there and stuff that are centered around this type of thing, where not just video gaming, but maybe also web development too. You guys, if there are developers out there that are interested in looking at some resources that I've been able to discover, and maybe you've probably discovered these resources too, but I'll figure out a way here to see if I could share that information with you guys and see what you guys are looking at, and kind of seeing if I could, just learn some new stuff myself in the process, and also work on getting new people who are wanting to explore this stuff into this sort of thing with video games and web development with both feet running. So, oh man, I got into another. Look at me go here. I got into another spiel, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, this is why I'm not a good teacher. I can't just lecture somebody and say, hey, oh man. So all right. All right. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is close those doors, and then we're gonna go ahead and let's just look at the TARDIS as it's taken off and get ready to do its thing. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to have the TARDIS travel to that destination. And I want to triple check and verify here that that locking down mechanism is engaged. Otherwise, well, I'll have to have the TARDIS take off. And actually, wait a minute. I got an idea on that one. Yep, it was disengaged. I'm actually going to leave it disengaged. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on here. What is this saying? For example, uh, locking down mechanism engaged. Okay. And locking down mechanism disengaged. Okay, perfect. Ooh, oh man, I'm lost my balance there. Whoopsie. See, this for me. This is a lot of fun. I get to any mistakes I make in the video. I think it's something I could learn from. But I'm not gonna you know take it real hard for the simple fact that these mistakes are bloopers. It'd be funny, right? All right, so what I'm gonna do is make sure that locking down mechanism is disengaged, like I was saying. It is disengaged. So I'm gonna show you what happens compared to when it's disengaged and when it's engaged, and you guys can see what it can do. Um, so looks like, oh wow. Oh yeah, I forgot we were I forgot we were still in flight, which is good. This is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and program those coordinates with the locking down mechanism disengaged. You don't need to have either engaged or disengaged to do the coordinates, but depending on how you want to land, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just program the coordinates right now. Let's see here. Here it is. This is the one I wanted in the first place, which is awesome. So what we're going to do is go ahead and program that. And since we're landing in those coordinates that I wanted to land at in the first place, I can show you guys, the perspective of it being down there while we're up here, and vice versa. So, all right. So the coordinates are successfully programmed. We're going to go ahead and land. We're still relatively close to the TARDIS, so we can hear it. Earlier, there was like some kind of weird bug or something, and the TARDIS, I guess, just was in another location further away, and yeah, it was a real odd bug. But it seems like that bug kind of worked itself out now that we're in a new location. It's very hard to predict. But these mods can sometimes misbehave a little bit, and it's actually very interesting when they do. It's a lot more fun than when they actually behave themselves. You can actually see all the goofy things that these mods do when they don't behave themselves according to the code. But a lot of these errors are just simply generated. They're not intended by the creators, but somehow the environment might cause some sort of bug or something. If that's the case, a lot of these games can simply be restarted, and then the mods will behave themselves accordingly to what was intended by the creator. But every now and then, these mods will goof up a little bit, and it's just general error sometimes that falls into. And it's nothing to worry about, really. If you're having a whole lot of errors and the bugs in the games are really messing with you and you don't like it, a simple restart of the game or even a restart of your PC can definitely help you out a little bit, if not a lot. For me, a simple restart for my PC has fixed a lot of issues that I've had, and I refer to it as giving my computer a real good kick in the bumper. Even though computers don't have bumpers. I mean, they might have buttons called bumpers. You never know. Um, you can always make stuff up like that as you go along. The possibilities for creativity in a lot of different scenarios are endless. You just whatever pops into your brain, run with it. I say, if you run with it, it's fun. It's fun if you run with it. I'll just say that. All right, so the TARDIS landed in this position, and the locking down mechanism is of course disengaged. This is how it will land. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock down the mechanism, and yeah. So all right, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and activate that locking down mechanism. All right, it is engaged. So the TARDIS is gonna stay literally locked in its place. And I'm going to go ahead and have the TARDIS go to that destination again, that very, very destination we programmed. I believe the coordinates are still set to that location. So I'm not even going to reprogram the coordinates. I'm going to just go ahead and take off as is. Let's see what happens when this occurs. Okay, so the TARDIS did not exactly go to the destination I programmed. It landed in its location that the coordinates were recently set for landing. So basically, I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the TARDIS is still going to stay locked within its current coordinates. Since I decided not to program new coordinates to the destination I wanted it to go, the TARDIS by default landed in the coordinates we were just at, and that's why the TARDIS came back to that exact position. Sometimes you just gotta go back through the motion and get everything programmed the way you want it to, and then the TARDIS can do exactly what you want it to. It can be a bit of a learning curve, but I think that's the fun part of it, really. So what we can do now is, now that we know that the TARDIS came back to this exact spot, even though it was already just here, that's okay. We can tell the TARDIS to go to a completely new location, and this will be the location we want, which is actually, for me, this is going to be at the bottom of this well. And with the locking down mechanism engaged now, we can successfully do that. Let's go ahead and tell it to go right on down there. All right, let's do it. Here we go. All right. Just based on the fact that we could still hear the TARDIS and the fact that it did not go to the same location it just did previously, I think it's safe to say the TARDIS did land in its proper coordinate system, or where I intended it to go in the coordinate plane. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and look at the scanner inside of the TARDIS, and it will show me an exact view of what's going on outside the TARDIS right now. And if I'm right, it will show me that the TARDIS landed successfully at the bottom of this spot in under the water, basically. So let's go ahead and on my other player that I have, I will go ahead and take a look. Oh man, it did it. Everything looks perfect. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and the TARDIS does have a what's called a fast return protocol. In the show, this was used uh, probably several times. It was very well explained in one of the earliest episodes of the reboot after the series rebooted in 2005. Uh, uh, the TARDIS was then it was mentioned later on that the TARDIS could do a fast return protocol in later episodes as well. But it was wonderfully demonstrated earlier on in the series, and I think it was cool that they left the rest of that up to the imagination when the 11th Doctor mentioned that the TARDIS could do a fast return protocol in one of the events and one of the Christmas specials in the when he was um, uh, well, I don't want to do any spoilers, but the TARDIS does have the ability to do that. Uh, so, um, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually I might be able to just hit the fast return protocol, so that way we don't actually have to do any coordinate programming. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate that. TARDIS is gonna take off from down there and land very quickly up here, if memory serves me correctly. Yep. And just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate that again. Just just to kind of play with it. You know, these mods are fun to play with. That's the whole part of this game. You can do whatever you want and play with the mods and have a little fun. Yeah, for me that was pretty entertaining. Uh, I could do the fast return protocol thing all day. It does make it a lot easier to do that. So, all right. So, now that that is done, I'm actually going to, and it's kind of awesome that the TARDIS is actually up here now rather than down there, because then I can just have the TARDIS go from right where it currently is to up here on the dock. So that way I can just go right in to the TARDIS. My other character can transport me to the bottom of the well, and then we can explore what happens down there. Very, very cool. All right, let's go ahead and get that done. So I'm going to actually, I'm going to go ahead and program these coordinates ahead of time so that way the TARDIS can just move directly from that location to the other location without having to do all the figuring beforehand. So I'm going to go ahead and run the coordinate jump. Well, I should say coordinate calculation. I'm going to go ahead and program the coordinates right now, and then the TARDIS will be able to do exactly what I'm instructing it to do. This was all pre-programmed ahead of time for these coordinates, and that's where the creativity came into play. But you're seeing what happens as I'm just telling the TARDIS simply to move from one location to the other. A lot of the figuring, like I said, was already done. So Um, as you guys play with it and have fun with it, even for the experienced ones that have already worked with the mod, uh, it just it takes a level of creativity, and it's a real nice learning curve and everything. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You can have fun with the coordinate mapping if you're not a big fan of coordinate mapping like that with the TARDIS. I could show you one cool thing you can already do with flight mode. I'll show you that. That's what I need to do next. I need to do the flight mode next. I'll show you guys that. That's a lot of fun. You can just go woo woo all over the map and everything. It's so much fun. Uh, all right, we'll do this real quick, and then we'll get into that here shortly. Just bear with me, and let's have some fun. All right. What I need to do here. Okay. Here we go. Let's do that. All right, guys. Here we go. There we go. Now all I gotta do is just hop on in. I'm gonna go ahead and open the doors. Alrighty, and then let's just kind of go this way. I'm actually gonna have the mouse do that, so that we can just right on there. There we go. All right, now that I am on board, we're gonna go ahead and do that. With the doors, we're gonna close them, and then go ahead over here. We're gonna go ahead, just take off with the TARDIS. We're gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and program those coordinates here. All right, let's go ahead and explore our environment around us. So let's go this way. Oh, wow. All right. Well, unfortunately, you can't see the TARDIS interior underwater. I don't know if that's globally what's going on with the mod, or if that just happens to be what's going on my map of it. Yeah, but that's the fun thing. You can always guess what's going on, or at least try to. Um, it doesn't bother me that I can't see the interior right now, but I know it's there because I can walk in right now and yep, look at that, it's there. So I don't know if that's just a temporary bug that's going on with the map, or if that's just something that's globally or generally going on with the mod as far as programming goes. Uh, nothing crazy, but it just seems like that background's just not working underwater, which could be uh, it could be anything. It could be either or scenario, but still, that's the fun part of these things. You know, you get to explore a little bit, see what's up, and see what's working, see what's not working, and yeah, that's the fun part of these things. You get to experiment a little bit. Awesome stuff. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and look at that. Wow. Woo! Look at that. And then you can float, and then you can float down, and that type of thing. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I wonder what happens if you do that, and then you can just kind of. Yeah. All right. Kind of float around a little bit. Yeah. And you're walking around, and you're floating. All right. Well, All right. Yeah. I guess for a little bit there you're swimming, and then you can actually walk on the ground, and you can do that type of thing or that type of thing. You go around this way here, actually. Okay, yeah, there we go. There we go. Then, wow. That's awesome. I got stuck in the TARDIS there when I did that type of thing. That's pretty fun. All right, I got sidetracked there, guys. Sorry about that. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is pop on in here, and I'll show you flight mode here. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go in here, and then I can pick another location. I got one idea here on where to go. Let's see here. Check this out. Go here, because I think this is one location I've got. Alright, and then let's just see where we end up when we go here. Okay, I had programmed this location before, but I'm not sure if I remember specifically where the TARDIS is at. Let's see here. I know roughly where this is, but I'm not sure exactly what position the TARDIS would land in that position. Oh! Alright, now I remember. Yeah, I remember programming it now for this location. I knew where the TARDIS would land. I remember that this is the one B2 hangar that I was in before, but I couldn't remember if this was the exact spot the TARDIS landed in. So now I know. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my other character come out of the TARDIS and everything, and I'm just for laughs and giggles here, I'm gonna go ahead and see. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what flight mode looks like on the outside, and then yeah, and then I can show you guys what I can do with that here. So alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of do this here. Alright. So I just realized that the lockdown mechanism was still engaged. So flight mode's not gonna allow the TARDIS to move when the locking down mechanism is engaged. I also want to test what happens if the time rotor handbrake is still engaged too when I try to do this. So I'm gonna turn that on as well, and then I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to fly as well. And it will not allow flight mode completely when the time rotor handbrake is engaged. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disengage both the time rotor handbrake and the lockdown mechanism. And it should allow us now to do a flight mode. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in, and we'll be able to do flight mode right now. Oh man, that is so much fun to just do with the TARDIS and everything. I'll show you guys here in just a moment. I'm gonna land this thing for just a moment. It is quite laggy when the doors are open, but when the doors are closed, there's relatively no issue whatsoever here. So, alright. Now that the TARDIS has successfully landed and everything, what we're going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can go outside the TARDIS for a moment. And I'll just go ahead and close the doors. This platform in Garry's mod, GM Genesis, will allow you to go up and out. I couldn't think of a location to land the TARDIS in based on the coordinate map that was programmed by the second character. The first character has tons of locations that are programmed for the TARDIS to land outside, but not very many were programmed, unfortunately, for the character that's flying the TARDIS right now to be programmed outside. I can go ahead and configure one of those right now, but I think we can go ahead and just go up the platform here right now momentarily. So let's just kind of go ahead and do that. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate that platform. So let's see here. And then we're going to go basically up and out. Willy Wonka reference that. Up and out. Alright guys, I'm going to take a brief break at the end of this video. I'm going to guess that I'm going to have to make a two-parter just because I need to take a little bit of a break here. But I will return momentarily, guys.